In 1823 at South Dakota, a group of people went for hunting in a forest. During that journey, a man in the team was attacked by a dangerous creature. The team immediately killed that creature and saved that man. Unfortunately, the man was injured terribly, so the team members carried him in a litter for 2 days. Their journey is getting delayed because of this injured man. So the team leader ordered 2 persons to stay with that injured man. After that, remaining members along with their team leader continued their hunting journey. Those 2 people predicted that the injured man would die surely. So they started digging a grave for him. Meanwhile, they heard an unusual sound which made them anxious. Immediately they took all the weapons and tools of that man and leaving him helpless in that dense forest. Later on, an unbelievable incident was happened to that injured man. You will never believe that the unbelievable incident happened on that day turns into a greatest history in future. What was that? Who was that injured man? Why the 2 persons left that injured man alone in the forest? Which was the dangerous creature attacked that man? Let's clear it out in today's episode. Welcome back to my channel. You are watching Unknown Facts. The injured man, which I was mentioned in the introduction, is Hugh Glass. Was born to Irish immigrant parents in Pennsylvania around 1783. Glass started working as a sailor by 1817. Then in 1822, Glass learned of a fur trading venture. Per the South Dakota Office of Tourism, a newspaper advertisement placed by General William Henry Ashley called for 100 men to ascend the river Missouri to explore uncharted lands and trap animals for their fur. Glass eagerly signed up to become one of Ashley's 100. Throughout 1822 and 1823, Ashley's 100 trekked up the Missouri River, hunting and trading furs as they went. Along the way, they had a violent encounter with members of the Arikara tribe. Several of the traders were killed. Glass was apparently shot in the leg and the survivors retreated downstream and sent for help. Later, Glass and the rest of the Ashley party eventually returned to Fort Kiowa to regroup for the trip west. Andrew Kendry, Ashley's partner, had joined the group and he along with Glass and several others set out overland to the Yellowstone River. After a few months of their journey, the day which I was mentioned in the introduction has come. Near the forks of the Grand River, near present-day Shade Hill Reservoir, Perkins County, South Dakota, while scouting for game for the expedition ladder, Glass surprised and disturbed a mother grizzly bear with 2 cubs. The bear charged, picked him up, bit, slashed and lacerated his flesh, severely wounded him and forced him to the ground. Hearing Glass screams for help, several of the party made their way to Glass and killed the bear. One of the team members attributed the scene as the monster had torn the flesh from the lower part of the body and from the lower limbs. He also had his neck shockingly torn, even to the degree that an aperture appeared to have been made into the windpipe, and his breath to exude at the side of his neck. Blood flowed freely, but fortunately his hands and arms were not disabled. His injuries included a broken leg, a ripped scalp, a punctured throat and deep gashes on his back that exposed his ribs. Nobody in the group believed that Glass would live for more than a few hours. They strapped him to a litter and carried him along with them anyway. The critically injured man surprised them all by surviving through the night and the following day. Soon, however, they realized that the added weight was slowing them down. They were still in Arikara territory and they wanted to reach their destination swiftly to avoid another attack. The group still anticipated that Glass would die soon, so they decided to leave 2 men behind with him who would catch up after burying his body. Those 2 men were John Fitzgerald and Bridges. However, when Glass was still clinging to life 5 days later, both the members decided that Glass won't survive hereafter, so they started digging a grave for him. Meanwhile, digging the grave, they heard an unusual sound. That is the sound of Arikara warriors. Both of them was much anxious and they grabbed the rifle, knife and other equipment belonging to Glass and abandoned him alone in that dense forest. Fitzgerald and Bridges later caught up with the party and reported to Ashley that Glass had died. The unbelievable incident which I was mentioned in the introduction is despite his injuries, Glass regained consciousness. Glass lay mutilated and alone more than 200 miles from the nearest American settlement at Fort Kiowa on the Missouri River. Glass set the bone of his own leg, wrapped himself in the bear hide his companions had placed over him as a shroud, and he made it his life's mission to seek revenge on the men who had left him to die. Based on his knowledge of his surroundings, he believed he was about 200 miles from Fort Kiowa, where he would be able to get help. Crawling at first, then slowly beginning to walk, Glass made his way toward the fort. He ate what he could find. This mostly includes berries, roots and insects, but occasionally he came across the remains of buffalo carcasses that had been ravaged by wolves. Along his way, Glass do a weird thing that to prevent gangrene, Glass allowed maggots to eat the dead infected flesh in his wounds. Roughly halfway to his destination, he ran into a tribe of Lakota who were friendly toward the fur traders. There, he managed to bargain his way into a skin boat. He reached Fort Kiowa around 6 weeks after the bear attack. Once he had rested and purchased supplies on credit, Glass set out once more to rejoin Ashley's 100. When he eventually caught up with them, everyone was shocked to see him alive. Fitzgerald had left the group to join the US Army, but Bridges was still with them. After joining the party, the team leader asked Bridges to return the weapons of Glass. It was time for Glass to act on his desire for revenge. However, when Glass confronted Bridges, he supposedly forgave the teenager. He realized that it was Fitzgerald who had convinced the boy to leave him behind. Glass then set out to find Fitzgerald and forgave him as well. Fitzgerald was protected by the army, so Glass couldn't harm him without facing punishment himself. His mission to track down Bridges and Fitzgerald complete. Glass continued working as a fur trader for the next 10 years. In 1833, Glass had been evading for so long. While on a trip along the Yellowstone River with 2 fellow trappers, Hugh Glass found himself under attack by the Arikara once again. This time, he was not so lucky and his life comes to an end. His unbelievable survival life story inspired the eye of Hollywood and was transformed into the Oscar-winning film The Revenant. Today, a monument stands along the southern shore of the Grand River near the site of Glass' famous attack, reminding all who pass of the man who took on a grizzly bear and lived to tell the tale. Hugh Glass' life has been recounted in numerous books and dramas. Till now, he is best for his story of survival and forgiveness after being left for dead by companions when he was mauled by a grizzly bear. By this, we have come to the end of today's video. What do you think about this motivational story of Hugh Glass? Write down your suggestions in the comment section. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. See you all in the next video. Bye-bye.